Hello, how is everybody doing? All eight of us. Uh, pretty amazing, pretty amazing. Phenomenal, I would say, even, but I guess I should have known. Hey, Brad. Hey, Johnny. Hey, Joe. Hello, Michaelis and Leo. Hello, hello, boys. Good to see ya. Alrighty, so I guess let's get into things. Quite a volatile day, all in all, so far. Rather than expected. Actually, I expected this to be a little bit more tame, but with a bit of a correction. But not that surprising. All in all, we're kind of revolving around that. What is that? 5,720. Heads up, by the way. Hi, Danny. This is not going to be too long because we have a Zoom call with Tom in about an hour. So this is going to be about an hour long. So heads up, heads up. Blah, blah, blah. Let's give some people some time to join and let's start running with this. So, all in all, the trends are pretty distinctively bearish right now. If we're starting to look, for example, in five minutes, which is more interesting to us, we have about 2 hours to go. So we can see, give or take, the next hour easily with the 5 minutes. We see that it's probably more bearish than bullish based upon what we're seeing here. We've already been in the overbought territory, or already had that sort of a correction. Basically, it shows that the movement is far more bearish than bullish, because even that correction and some time spent in the overbought territory was not able to allow us to even go to the same highs. We're just kind of on a distinct downtrend. So 30 minutes. 30 minutes is actually somewhat more bullish, has a little bit more juice in the system, but we're starting to see that convergence of the forces, right? You can see that we're starting to move, basically the bullish momentum starting to move towards each other. There's a high likelihood of it converging right here and subsequently breaking into the body of the tool, implying that we're having far more bearish momentum than bullish momentum. We're seeing that on the chart as well, so nothing all that surprising. Right now, we're kind of moving along, those who are more attentive, around the median of that 30 minutes. Not all that surprising. That's usually what we do throughout the day. We kind of wrap around or test either 30 minutes, 1 hour. We'll find these are usually very distinctively accurate. So we have that. What else? What else? 45 minutes, closer to 1 hour. You know what? I'll just skip that to 1 hour, just for you to have a better perception of things. The channel is quite wide. We basically ended up testing the bottom of the channel, and now we're almost slowly deteriorating with that leftover momentum, right? So we know it appears to be a lot more bearish than bullish on the smaller time frames, which means we're probably going to see more bearish momentum here. So again, all in all, if you kind of count them together, right, it's the assembly of the relevant time frames, and all in all, what we're seeing for the next couple of hours is a lot more bearish than bullish, right? So not going to be all that surprising if we will either break below that 57.20 or maybe retain it while testing slightly lower and going back to it. So we're kind of seeing that we're right now locked around the 57.20. That is a pre-close price we expect. 4 hours didn't change much. Again, we already saw the convergence. Tomas, hello, 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 good to see you. So we saw the convergence before, nothing all that surprising. SMA is below us, so we don't have that much. Basically, we're mostly seeing a structure of support below rather than a resistance, but that is on the 4 hourly, right? So once we are starting to look at this right here on the daily, basically we have a lot more distance to our bottom, just to give you a heads up. More so, we are seeing that we're already significantly bearish, but we're seeing this convergence divergence, so we could see maybe some momentum tomorrow with the market sort of playing into that bullish momentum, right? Well, we're talking about the upcoming days, but the upcoming days could be far more reactive to the overall outcome of the elections and not just what the indicators are showing. We could have a spillover of that noise, if you will. More objectively, the weekly is looking very bearish. We spoke about this before. So it seems that the market is preparing for a far more bearish week ahead of today. So it's kind of hard to say whether the market is how to say it, preparing for this immediate correction, a drop down, but we're seeing that we are starting to spill over, basically almost this gradual, slow overturn. But is it this true? Remember, we're still waiting for the monthly to start showing far more bearish signs, which it is. If you remember, that was far more tight. The structure here was far more tight, so that implies that we're growing in that bearish momentum, right? Basically accelerating. All we need to do is start plummeting towards the body of the indicator, right? So that will either happen throughout the following month, that we will kind of dwell along the top and only then start moving downwards, inwards into the system, or maybe we'll see something faster. Basically, if elections will be extremely bearish and the entire market will react, we're probably going to see a quick, swift movement towards the 80 and creating this big divergence between the two forces, implying that we're far more bearish than we appear to be. Hey, Mamba, good to see you. All right, Adam, what are you saying there? Adam Graham, what you saying? 548% gain today. Insanity, and I had 221 IWM calls for 0.6. I don't do options, but I understand you had a blast today. Sold them for 2.4, then bought 221 puts for 0.45 and sold then for one. Had 500. Okay, I see. So you had a lot today. All right. Beautiful day. Glad to hear, Adam. Glad to hear. You obviously had a blast today. This is an example of a day trader who definitely captured today's momentum. Alrighty. Yeah, I see. Super trader. No. I mean, proper trader. Adam, good job. Very good job right there. Respect. Honestly. That is, boys and girls, how trading should be done. If you're in options, I'm not much of an options guy, and I don't do, nowadays at least I don't do day trading, but this is the right way. Nice day for plug. Yeah, it's a decent day for plug, by the way, but sadly, if you look on the weekly, you're gonna see that we're probably gonna correct that sooner or later. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I think this is not gonna hold for long. We're gonna correct down. Remember, we should probably see something that is far more sector wide and not really, we don't really see that. Plus us closing on earnings, I'm expecting maybe that could be a sell-off into earnings. So, and I could be seeing what we're seeing towards the earnings, but regardless of a correction, I'm still, I want to ride plug. I do think plug has a very good potential if we're looking for the shorter term. Nobody here is planning, to be in plug forever and a bit. It's just going to be something very short term, if you will, right? You can consider this a trade, right? So, nice one. What's up, boom? Right, I see. Meta calls and KQQ calls and puts. Come on, boys and girls, stop with the option stuff. This is not an options channel. I'm gonna get mad here. What are we doing? Technical analysis, boys and girls. Focus on the technicals. Love you all, though. Love you all. Respect to you all. I'm glad to hear, though. I'm glad to hear we do have some really good traders here and people who do really know what they're doing and having some green days. Absolutely, I'm happy to hear. Come on, boys and girls. I think we've covered. There's not much to say about the S&P. Let's look into the, your tickers, the individual assets. That if you want to look into something, because the market is, it's not doing anything we didn't say we're gonna see. I've expected. You remember, said Apple more closer to the 217 that we know. Nvidia is actually holding up pretty well, all in all. Let's be honest. This is phenomenal for the situation. ASML, not much to say here, I guess. We've already covered ASML. We know we're probably going to be seeing far more downwards action, although some bullish momentum there, but not a lot of it. It's probably going to be retaining at best the 700 area, retesting it again and breaking down more so. So we're seeing a lot more bearish momentum than we're seeing bullish momentum. Just to show you that we spoke about this, and I remember last week when we said it could be, but it's far more likely to be, which we ended up seeing. There you go, right? We know this. This doesn't change much. So 22 people here and only 6 likes. Yeah, Adam, I agree with you. People here are stingy with the likes as if, the like factory ran out of likes and no likes on the planet anymore. What is this, boys and girls? Like, smash the like. Smash it like it owes you money. Where's my money, like? Where's my money? Alrighty. Adam, I appreciate that. I appreciate the support and the reminder. It's true. It's why not smash the like? You know what? If you don't like what I'm saying or dislike, whatever, smash the dislike. Don't care. Not gonna get mad at you. I swear. What else do we have? SoFi is not really doing anything. I mean, with all the respect, it's still within that range of 1109 and 1090. So we're kind of here-ish. It appears to be, to those who like to get excited, it appears to be like it's doing a lot, but really it's just kind of going sideways within this channel. So we're like, it's exciting. Yeah, I mean, sure, it completely outperformed my expectation because I was expecting it to basically get stuck around that 1048, 1010 to be more accurate about this. So this is phenomenal, right? We made an entire $0.50 more. I wonder who capitalized on this out of all the people who were saying, oh, SoFi is running. SoFi will probably still correct as far as I can tell. Again, that's just my personal opinion. From what I'm seeing on the technicals of the overarching market, it will end up around 4-ish probably. I mean, it still could be like high 2s and low 3s, but I really doubt it with this performance that we've seen in the last couple of months. Really, it has a better chance of surviving and falling to around 4 high 3s, right? So low 4s, high 3s, kind of. That's the vicinity where we're probably going to be. Again, this is from afar and without actually getting into detail, but that's my expectation. That's just me based upon the overarching correction that we're seeing in the market potentially, right? So, in my opinion, SoFi has very little room to go up, regardless of who wins. SoFi, I'm impressed by SoFi. 1421 days. I expect 5-ish. Oh, wow. I mean, wow. Adam, you're you're a lot more bearish than I am on that one. I'm tame compared to you. I'm saying it will take some time, and it'll probably be a gradual correction as always. Up down, up down, up down. So you're familiar. I don't have to tell you. Maybe to 1125, 1145, then drop. I don't see that for the 1145 nor 1125 possible. You know what? 1125 I'll give you. It's possible, but that depends on whether there will be a knee-jerk reaction and then a correction. But I doubt. I think the market is preparing to sell off regardless of who wins. This is pretty crazy, by the way. If you're looking at the overall structure, it seems like the market is preparing to sell no matter what. But then again, things can change. Things can flip on a dime here. We know that. That's especially with the results. So there's too much retail dollar in it. They will panic as soon as it goes under $10. Yeah. You know what? I mean, a good point. But I gotta say they are kind of now within the mental state of buy the dip. So they might surprise you right now. The retail might surprise you actually. Just because they're conditioned right now to buy the dip every time, regardless of, they're very confident of the market is going to go, the greater fool theory, right? It's the market will always have somebody to buy off of me these stocks, no matter how crazy the price is. Yeah, no, not really. I'm not, because market, Bedwars gang, what do you mean? It's like, why am I saying that I'm gonna drown? Because I don't float when the tsunami hits. I'm not a floater, right? There's nothing special about me that will make me float. Is there anything special about SoFi that will make it float? Right? If the tsunami hits, everything will drown. Everything that is not designed not to float in such an instance, basically, if the tsunami hits. if, right? And again, my expectation is that the market has been preparing for a correction forever and a bit. In fact, we overshot the highest point that I've expected for the market, which was around 54. And I said on an absolute absurd day we are gonna hit 55, but we ended up overshooting that tremendously. So, I mean, if you ask me, we already should have corrected, yesterday, basically. We're already behind. So, man was getting a lot of money on SoFi calls. Look, it doesn't matter, Adam. Don't preach to the person. It's his decision. We're here more so about the technical analysis, right? It's his decision. We don't even know what his stance is. It's just asking, why am I bearish on SoFi? Let's not judge nor attack anybody here. Let's keep calm, right? Everybody keep calm, gentlemen. Keep calm. No attacking anybody. Adam. What do you think about Ionic? Sure, let's do that. Well, let's take a look at Ionic. Why not? Let's take a look at Ionic. I don't mind. Right? I got it right. I got it right. Oh, people often surprised that I'm gonna say that I like such things, but actually, I mean, we'll see. We'll see if I really like it, but it might have potential. What? I actually really like that company. Okay. I mean, okay. Sure. Remember, Adam, no bias. You can't be biased when you do these things. Stop loving or not loving things. Damn it. Actually, you know what? I mean, wait, before I jump to conclusions. Well, from first glance, you don't look all that bad. Yeah, I mean, you don't look all that bad, but you see, you have a butt. You have a crooked butt pattern here. Crooked butt pattern, sir. You know what happens when you have a butt pattern? The market goes butt up. Tell you what, though. Look, this is within the context of things, right? Because that's probably part of what you're seeing. This could be very rapid. But I am seeing a phenomenon I don't like to see. I don't like to see that this is highly tied with but down. Yep, but down. I'll tell you what, though. I don't like to see how this was highly affected by the overall market rally, right? Just out of curiosity, how have you been doing on your? I mean, iffy, sketchy, but right. Genuinely good growth so far, right? Last couple of quarters you did well. What is this quarter expecting for you? Right, so less well, but okay. Down. I. That was obviously your 78. Now you're testing this. I'll tell you what, to put it in realistic terms, it looks like the market does want to take you back down towards that 1232, which is not all that bad. I mean, within the context of things, it's not great, but painful probably, to that area, retest you here, maybe put you up to that wedge one time or two, but then take you up. That's what the market appears to say in terms of where are you headed in the nearer term future. But if the overall, I'm not sure how floaty this is. Is this floaty, Adam? Does it float? You know what I mean? That's the problem. I mean, everything about now is about the question of whether does it float, right? Because even this, especially within the monthly context, right? Because you're looking at the monthly structure here, you could have a convergence divergence here, bearish, and only then uptick, right? So that's why you're seeing everything so bullish, and then you do see some bearishness. You understand what I'm saying? See what I'm saying there? Again, people like, okay, so we're gonna talk bullish. No, but let's talk bearish then bullish, if anything. If that makes sense to you. Alex! Good to see you, brother, from another Canadian mother. Russian Canadian mother. uh, Stop thanking me more for the live. Thank you for showing up. You all are legends. Here you go. Chef's kiss from me to all of you for showing up. YouTube doesn't like me and doesn't put me in the. It doesn't matter what descriptions I'll put. YouTube just openly discriminates against me. That's where we stand. You are 13.34 pips and keep DCAing. Okay. Okay. Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. 13 is okay. You'll be able to probably DCA better. Testing that. I mean, look, that median is obviously strong like all hell, right? You can see the median, Adam? Yeah, I mean, you would probably have it here as well, but, the stupid platform will not allow us to go that deep. It's actually one of the best platforms. I'm being an ass. Let's not hate on it. I do like it, so. But yeah, you obviously had that. It's here. We know it's you have this, and it tested and got confirmed. So no, you're no longer going to test this probably anytime soon. Got tested, reconfirmed here again. So you're good with that regard. So you're probably testing this. Maybe on if you're really gonna have it, then you're gonna have it like this bad. And I mean, if you are tied in with the market, prepare to see 740 and probably 7, and maybe even that little gap will get closed for you. So what is that? Like 6 something? 6 something? It's 6. It's 6. Oh shit. That's probably gonna get closed. If it drops there, it's probably gonna get closed. Like if you let me say this, if you make it to 742, you're obviously going to test 7, and if you're going to test 7, you're obviously going to test 6. Like, these are pretty much work together for you. But that is if the tsunami hits. That's what it appears to be. That will make total sense, huh? Cool. If that's your point of view, Adam, great. That's the beauty. If you really truly look at this in this point of view, that remember, although I do often tackle technicals here and talk about shorter time frames, what Tom mentions at times and all that, let's not forget that Tom and I both are a lot more traditional, and I say, look, if you don't specialize in this and you don't know how to trade, right, and you don't know proper technical analysis, and if you understand it on a very fundamental, basic level, still always, well, what I was about to say is, remember, buy when the blood is in the streets, even if the blood is your own. Okay, quoting Baron Rothschild here. Okay, those who know. And people like to neglect that other half of the quote, even if the blood is your own, which is very important. It basically says, look, the market is going to take a dump. All you can do instead of, complaining is maybe bring a baggie and clean it up or whatever, a hose. So prepare in the most efficient way you can for the most painful situation. If it's not going to happen and you're prepared in the correct way, well, worst case scenario, you were ready, right? No one says sell your portfolio. Prepare yourself in a different kind of stance from, fortify yourself mentally, right? Don't be emotional. Next level. Good to see you. Good to see you. I stay away from this. Quantum is cash burn. Look. some people believe in it and they think, not my place to say. Not my place to say. We here talk about the technicals. You guys want to talk theory and hypothesize. We do that on the Discord. Reminding those who don't know, $10 a month and you get to join a whole bunch of really cool benefits, which wink wink, we're going to remodel the Discord in the upcoming days, which it will be very clear what the public members are missing out on. Basically, they will literally be able to see the channels or the categories, but not necessarily take part in it. But we of course provide a ton of value for our public members as well. But those who know, we do hang out in the member section a lot more often. We talk about anything and everything, and then we can speculate about whatever, right? So right now here we try to focus on the technicals and maybe structure a potential path, and less about the the speculation stuff. So to some people it's a very tempting play. To me, the technicals of Ionic right now look rather healthier than a lot of other stuff we looked at. If it will get affected and it is not a floaty asset, it's gonna drown like the rest of them. That's the reality, okay? We have to be realistic about things. This is why we cover kind of all the stuff. We cover everything that is important, all right? That is that. Adam, I hope that satisfied your question. We said, I understand. That's why we have a market, each one with his opinion. That's great. Opposite opinions. Yeah, no, absolutely. I don't, I absolutely am in favor of free speech, right? And everybody here can talk bad about anybody else's talk, including my own. That's not a problem. We're not children. We're not too emotional about these things, right? So we're more so trying to be objective. And if somebody doesn't like my stock, so what? Even I don't care. I'm not married to it either, and it's somebody else's problem if anything they don't like it or do like it. It's absolutely individual. I agree with that. So Mamba, you and I are on the same page totally. Next Level, you should check out their technology. It's pretty insane. They're far ahead. Sorry, Greg. Next Level, I'm the Penny OG in this card. No, Adam. Again, no worries, brother. Let's check there. Yeah. No, you guys. Look, I absolutely love that we have the very variety of everybody, sort of the variety of the entire spectrum of the market participants, right? And different opinions, and people can join together and share and talk. So I mean, sure, guys, you are more than, Next Level is awesome. I spoke to Next Level several times. Adam, I can promise you he's absolutely awesome. And Next Level, yeah, join us so we can hang out with you more and actually chat about these things. So I know you have issues with the internet sometimes. It doesn't always work out, but like I said, join us. We'll always have a blast. I promise you that. Much love back at you, brother. Much love. SQQQ until it starts printing. Yeah, sure. You can hate SQQQ until it starts printing. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at it at all. I know this device was meant for a particular situation, and in my humble opinion, just an opinion, that device is going to shine. Those who don't know, by the way, we're going for a reverse split on the 7th, so be prepared. Here it is. So 1 to 5. Yeah. Yes. Again, we discuss it in the community here. We don't go about speculation, and I would say the technicals on this don't matter as much as the technicals of the reverse forces are what matters, because almost like saying, no matter how how quickly something going to drop, just don't forget gravity exists regardless, right? Oh yeah, Adam. Kill it. Go kill it, bro. Do a good job. Have a great evening, sir. Good that you jumped, and thank you for showing up. Appreciate it a ton. Yeah, yeah, Mamba, absolutely. This is the attitude I love to see here. Love and support. People who like to hate can either be very quiet or get the F out of here. We are a good, harmonious community. We like being positive here. Regardless, where it doesn't matter. We're not just going to be blindly positive about the market. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying have a positive attitude towards each other, behave nicely towards each other, behave towards each other the same way we want to be behaved towards. Basically, give others the respect you would want to receive. It is quite simple. People who are not willing to give respect will not get respect here. It's just very simple. What else are we talking about today? I have about 20-ish more minutes. So, what do we want to talk about, boys and girls? Community for me. Leo, thank you. I appreciate that. We do try to be, yeah, Mamba, let's do. Stonky! Good to see you, brother. Stonks is one of our OGs. Like he's OG at this point. Forgot the stream. No, bro, I thought you were busy with work or something, so don't worry about it. No, don't worry. Lucas Wijek. Lucas, good to see you. What do you think will happen to the market if Trump wins? Only short term reactions. We spoke about this earlier, but I was saying that I actually see the market going down regardless of. Um, yeah, no, I was busy doing stuff and I had the call with Brad and then I was preparing for the live. It's just everything all together. I'm busy with some home stuff as well today. So, yeah. So no, Lucas, we're expecting roughly the same sort of reaction from the market overall, right? So much noise. On most of the assets, I mean myself, right? I mean me. I say we. To each their own, right? But the way I see this, the market is preparing for a correction to the downside, regardless of whether Trump or Kamala wins. The market was prepping for this for the last 7 months. I wouldn't even say six. It's more like 7, 8 months, if you will, on the obvious side of things. In fact, we were visibly seeing this far earlier, right? At least the technical people, and I was talking about this in my earliest lives, earliest videos as well that I've made. I was basically talking about it since COVID low. I don't mind saying it anymore. At this point, I don't mind pretty much saying anything. At this point, feels like I'm being so abused against on YouTube that it doesn't matter what words I'll say. It's like, what? YouTube will just completely block me and will let me just speak to myself. I mean, that is gonna be cool, real nice. Uh, yeah. I mean, I'm not claiming anything. I'm just telling you my experience with YouTube, and yeah. So gee, statistically, markets go up after elections. Later on, the correct no matter who wins. Pure stats. Yeah, yeah, no, I totally see that. I'll tell you what. Look, I can see how the market can knee jerk upwards, but at the end of the day, what I'm seeing on the technicals, and we spoke about it here, it's far more important to remember that here we try to focus on what the technicals are showing us, and not you know statistics from prior years, basically because this situation right now is extremely unique and we were never in elections that simultaneously had all the combination of all the events that we're having right now, right? So it never kind of came down to this situation. Pretty much every election is unique in its own right, but this time around is extra unique. Mm-mm-mm. Block you? Why? Who's blocking who? What's going on here? Who's blocking who? Trump, Trump contesting the results and suddenly will walk in the market. Also, historically speaking, the market has declined a bit after the opposite party winning. Um, Actually, I noticed that people kind of look as far as they want, but I would argue that you can see both. It always depends on the circumstance. It depends how granular you look. That's the most important thing. How granular you look. I have to wait and see. Don't know. I don't know. Okay, yeah. Greg, what do you think about BRK? Warren Buffett is selling and sitting on cash. Is he preparing to buy after crash? Uh, you know, I don't know. I can again speculate about what I think what Warren does, and I'll be glad to talk about you what I think Warren is doing, but not here. That's it again. That's not technicals. We can talk about Warren on in the Discord with what I think, but it is definitely quite telling. Would you agree? Next, I mean, it's quite telling. You know, I often like to bring the analogous sort of circumstance that imagine you are a king of this castle, right? And you are, you have your villagers, right? Your town, and you are standing on the walls there, and you see that the next town to you are prepping and are just kind of getting in position around your town. So you're yelling to them, guys, what are you doing? And they yell back at you, don't worry, it's all fine. But you see them obviously preparing for what you're familiar with as war positions, right? Like, it doesn't matter what they tell me, I can see what's going on, right? So oftentimes don't again, you do you, of course, but I personally am not hyper focused on what they're saying, or rather what they're doing. And what they're doing was quite obvious in the recent times, and especially when we're talking about Warren. So yeah. And he was very selective with his words recently to kind of point out the things that he's saying. But those who understand that there's doublespeak going on, he was very blunt about it. Very, very straight to the point. PLD already discussed. No, we didn't discuss. Uh, Mirtham, right? I hope I'm reading that Mirtham. We haven't, yeah, Mirtham. We haven't yet discussed Palantir. We're about to do Nvidia, and then we're gonna discuss Palantir real quick, and then probably maybe one more, a couple more questions or tickers, and then we're gonna adjourn today's session. Because some of us have a Zoom call with Tom in Tom's Academy. Those who don't know, Tom has an academy, a tremendously valuable resource. I cannot convey to you in words, well, I can, but it will take me, like 10 minutes of blabbing and talking about it. It's a tremendous, phenomenal resource. And Tom really teaches you how to go through a true value of through the balance sheets of the company, the balance sheet of a company, right? Looking prior to looking at the expectation, understanding exactly what you're seeing, creating a proper DCF for the company, subsequently creating a DCA path if you need to, right? If that's your plan, that's your goal. And a lot of people don't know how to do that right. Tom teaches that all in depth. We have interactive Zoom calls. It's not just a bunch of videos or something like that. Just, there's a bunch of videos. Good luck. No. It's Tom with us, on a Zoom call, and the community is asking questions. Absolutely phenomenal resource. I mean, I cannot give it enough, compliments, and just say how great it is. Honestly, they cannot compliment it enough. Cannot praise it enough. You find that, by the way, it's only $35 now instead of $100, which is a phenomenal discount, let's be honest. And you find it on Tom Nash's Patreon. All right, so let me quickly post Tom Nash's Patreon just to make it easy for those who are curious and want to see what I'm talking about. In the chat right now, you have the link to Tom Nash's Patreon, right? That is where you can sign up for Tom's Academy. And make sure that when you join the Discord, where this is where the Academy is conducted, not conducted, the Academy is often on Zoom calls, but the links to the Zoom calls and the details and all the information and the archive of the previous calls and the tools, the lectures, and all that great stuff is located on Discord. So make sure when you join Discord, you go to the FAQ channel, you get your roles sorted out, and then you can... and you'll be previewed to all these. All right, killed me. One second, Bad Wars. So yeah, make sure you go through the process on the FAQ channel. Otherwise, you'll not be privy to the Academy and will never enjoy it. That is that. 1 second. You'll have to wait, bad. We do this, then we do Palantir, and then we can get to RKLB. And that's going to be the last one, I believe, at this point. I see that's the last one. Apple is correcting. Yeah, we said Apple is moving down. Apple is expected to move towards 217. We've been expecting it to correct, so far so good. NVIDIA. Let's finally do NVIDIA. I've been, sitting on for 10 minutes or more. NVIDIA is very simple. We're still holding that 140 resistance here, quite obviously. The trend is overturning, so we're about to go bearish. This is why it's taking so long. I mean, we're seeing that we're, slowly moving into bearish territory. Right now, we're correcting on that bigger bearish sort of movement. If you overall understand, this was sort of the slowdown process, right? And right now, we're truly going into an actual bearish wave, which will be expressed by us going into oversold territory. We can see hints of the market correcting to the downside on the various time frames. For example, right here, we're already seeing the bearish momentum overtaking and becoming dominant, which is a strong hint. Monthly, we've been seeing a very similar pattern to the S&P. The indices is just that it's slightly behind. It has all that bullish momentum, but we understand that once everything overturns, this will not be, it's not going to float above the water. The only thing it will do is will prevent NVIDIA descending as quickly as some of the other assets, and NVIDIA will be sold off rather slowly and maybe even bought into, and which will create the slower descent. But still, we are expecting a downwards price action. In fact, on the 3 months, something we've been predicting that's going to overturn. We just have 2 months, call it 1 month, 28 days. So we can see how that might take some time. But towards the end of the year, we're actually moving towards a convergence, divergence of the forces here, which will make a strong impact on the bearish momentum, basically looking a lot more bearish on NVIDIA over the larger time frames. And when we see something like that on the larger time frames, we can basically expect it will take at least a while to correct. But yeah, so generally speaking, NVIDIA is not any different than the rest. NVIDIA has been screaming at us correction for a while now. It's just that it's taking its sweet time because it's so slow. The supports and resistances didn't change. We still have the 118 and 115, which will end up as a ceiling. In fact, I'm surprised we were able to break out of it altogether. Then we're going to have 110, right? Then we're going to have 100. Those are the various supports and resistances that matter. And here, instead of having a single level, we're going to have a channel that moves between 91.68 to 87.04. But really, you should look at this entire area as a range, which the market is a very strong range. The market will probably get stuck in. Eventually, when we drop here, the market will get stuck and will be within the range of basically these levels, and probably get retested several times before giving up on it one way or another. Which is probably more so downside. If the market is going to be a lot more bearish, guys, we have to be objective about this. The market, if it prints such obvious signs for it to be bearish over the longer run, we are seeing what's going to happen throughout the months forward, right? This is why we understand that it doesn't matter whether we're going to have a bullish correction. That bullish correction is within the framework of. Hello, Ori Dekel. Good to see you. Good to see you, sir. No, we have not seen Palantir yet. I'm actually about to look at Palantir within about a second when we finish with NVIDIA, as I promised. So you're right about on time. Yeah, so that's NVIDIA for you. I hope, there's nothing really changed. I don't mind covering it again and again and again, but as you see, nothing changed. It's like my prediction was the same here, if you noticed, here and here, and I'm so sorry to be tremendously consistent. In fact, it was the same prediction here, and yeah, all in all, it's still all the same. This entire range doesn't matter. We were just able to squeeze out another more tiny step forward in real perspective, and those who did not capitalize on this, get a helmet or prepare to be grown, forced to grow up, if you will. Nah, that's just my own humble opinion. I could be wrong. So Palantir, I mean, we know we spoke about this. Oli, we said, look, 45 was plain old resistance, right? Obviously, we said we don't have momentum to retest it unless the market starts to push up to close the gap we saw. We have, right? We have a gap right there. The market does not push to close it. I highly doubt we're going to see enough momentum to close this, which this is what we got, unsurprisingly so. We've retested the 41, what is that? 41.93, yeah. 41.93. We've retested it several times. We don't have anything special there. We tested it. We'll probably retest it again. I don't think we're going to give up on it that rapidly. The market likes to test these various levels. Also, we have enough bullish momentum in the barrel already as we're working our way right now through the price action. It's kind of like that. So we could easily see I'm forecasting based upon what we're seeing here, right? For example, a movement to basically, let's say this level. What could be, there you have some form of a support resistance here around probably, I'm probably looking at 41 psychological, right? Probably, yeah, it's probably it. So I'm not going to be surprised if that's going to be retesting that, getting maybe wedge, retest, break back down, right? That's kind of the uglier form, or just straight this way, maybe. I mean, over time, obviously, no, I just did something dumb. But basically prepare for moving towards 40.37, 40.30, right? But it appears to be that the market will probably ram through it, but then right back to it. So if to give you more of a decent point of view that is going to be over a more decent point of time, basically kind of like this to give you an idea, right? You're probably going to retest some of these channel. Well, probably going to retest this on your way down, right? As you go down. You're going to have the retest that we said there inside that's conveniently sets at 41-ish area, right? And eventually break down to here, testing some of the diagonals you have on your way, right? Eventually. So that's kind of, that's what you're seeing with this. Again, not a straightforward answer, right? I mean, it is a straightforward answer. It's just not a straightforward path. Sorry. Oli, is that good? Earnings today. Okay, so what? Again, we're discussing technicals. Also, elections tomorrow. You know? Yeah, no. Look, I don't like the Jim Cramers on the same page with me. I really hate it, but yeah, I absolutely can see that. I haven't followed Jim in a long time. I'm sorry. Jim Cramer has, you know, a lot of, rightfully has earned his respect, right, in the industry. But Jim Cramer nowadays he has a different job, if anything, and people oftentimes misunderstand that this the situation. So I'm impressed. I'm impressed that he's able to recognize that the market wants to correct. So when you hold it, don't sell it. Right, right. That's not true, Mamba. It's not. You see, people often like to say do the opposite. No, it's not true. Not everything that he says goes opposite, and it's kind of complicated to say, and at times it's very confusing. So it's not straightforward. Again, Jim Cramer. Again, I would like to be, you know, the guy who makes fun of him, but it's not just that it's wrong. It's wrong for all the wrong reasons. I mean, it's wrong for the reasons that you shouldn't do that, for all the right reasons why you shouldn't be doing that to anyone, if you will, especially somebody who has his respect earned like Jim Cramer. Do you think we see initial spike or testing more down like you're showing? Um, what do you mean? I was pretty clear on what I expect, and it's not about what I expect. It's just what I'm saying what I'm seeing from the market. Mirtham, it's not anything is usually the opposite. Yeah, no, it's not. Damn it, guys. I'm sorry. What we I missed? I know I missed a ticker. Right, bad. RKLB. Real quick, like super quick, like stupid quick. That's the last thing. That's the last thing. Although I do remember looking over Rocket Lab just recently, but where's that hidden? Oh, no one cares. No one cares. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously, the number you really should be attentive to is that 990 or call it 10, whatever, right? This number. I mean, where is you? This number, right? Now that you see it, it kind of appears to be obvious. And more so, I wouldn't necessarily see it as a ceiling as much as I would see it as a back below it and kind of potentially this thing, but you will be going down. Rocket Lab will be going down. That is to be real quick. It is going to be down, 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 down. It is Rocket Lab wants to correct down. That is for now. Rocket Lab right now seems to be appearing a lot more bearish than bullish. It doesn't mean it's not a straight, not an immediate down, and not a strong down, because it still have that daily that will give you some momentum. And if it's gonna push up or give you a partial impulse right there, you're still in overbought territory, so you have just a little bit more to squeeze in. Maybe just some form of this thing, just dropping to the 80, picking back up, retesting, and yeah, I mean, similarly to what you had here on your way down, or maybe somewhere around here. You're obviously going to have some form of a correction there, but on the grand scheme of things, you're going down. No SJIM, we're going, that's it. We are meeting adjourned. We have a session with Tom. People need to get ready. People need a couple of minutes before we go to the academy session, and I need a couple of minutes myself, boys and girls. Don't forget to smash the like. Don't forget to join my wonderful Patreon. My wonderful Patreon, only $10 a month. That does not give you Tom's Academy. It does not give you my Academy, but it gives you a membership in our Discord. And in Discord, you can then join our conversations, join some weekly Zoom calls, join Hangouts with me that are pretty much daily. And once a week, I also do these Hangouts for my community that I try to keep up once a week, but you know, life is life. See you next time. Exactly, Lucas. See you next time, boys and girls. I have to run myself, and the people here who have, the membership have to run. I will see you on the next one. Next one will be very interesting. Today we've covered, let's be frank, the last live before we get into the craziness of the election, like the full-blown craziness outcome. So next one will be probably very crazy. See you on the next one, boys and girls.